Peace. This is Wise for Wise Words Media, and we just witnessed over the weekend the return of Teofimo Lopez as he came back for the first time after suffering a defeat to George Kambosos. So when George Kambosos defeated Teofimo Lopez and he won the 3 out of the 4 major belts, one of the first things that Teofimo and his father said was we should have dropped the belts and we should have moved up to 140 after beating Lomachenko. So now this is supposed to be his more comfortable weight class, and he made his debut there at 140. So it wasn't a performance that we could write home about. It wasn't a performance that we can see and say, oh, he's going to be trouble up there, you know. One thing that stuck out to me was that Teofimo Lopez was looking for a lot of those one-shot counters, those and you know, a lot of shoulder and so he was trying to do a lot of the stuff that he was getting away with at 135. And at 135, when you look back at like fights like the Richard Comey fight, his power was devastating at 135, where he can hit you with that one shot and stun you or drop you, but he seemed like he was trying to do that, and he was catching his opponent flush on Saturday, but it wasn't translating to the same impact that it was at 135. 135, he was staggering dudes, like the Comey fight. He knocked Comey out with a quick counter shot. But those same counters wasn't doing the job on Saturday against the opponent he was facing. And he was facing one of the lesser known opponents at the 140 division. When you're talking about the 140, you got guys like Regis Prograis, who also tweeted after the fight, you know, that was a nice little comeback, but, you know, these dogs is different at 140. So, he also called out Josh Taylor after the fight and Regis Prograis. These are two of the top dogs at 140. You also have guys like Jose Cepeda. Cepeda is another guy that can easily give Teofimo Lopez some problems up there at 140. So what Teofimo needs to definitely do moving forward is he needs to focus on conditioning. The conditioning is going to be a key factor if he's going to have any success at 140. Because if the way 140 is going to play out for him is the way that Saturday's fight went, you know, and some people just have, you know, the guy may be a lesser known opponent, but the guy might have a granite chin, you know. Maybe that punch lands on a Cepeda or somebody and it actually has some kind of effect. But if that moving forward, if the power didn't transfer up to this new weight class, then what's going to happen is he's going to have to rely on conditioning. He's going to have to rely on not doing the one shot counter or, you know, the one power shot to try to get you out of there. He's going to have to put those punches in bunches. He's going to have to move around a lot more than he's used to. So that will be the way that he can find success at 140, is if he changes the whole approach of trying to catch shots with the shoulder and counter and just try to catch you with a lunging gazelle hook punch. Like, if those shots weren't working on Saturday, then it may be time to switch things up. Focus on conditioning. Focus on your long-term conditioning, because it looked like he was gassing out at the end of the fight. And, you know, there was pictures circulating about, you know, there was video circulating about him before the Kambosos fight with the hookah, you know. So, gonna have to put down the hookah, my friend. You're gonna have to put down the hookah. Conditioning. That's gonna be the only way you're gonna survive in this weight class with some big dogs in there, you know. And Teofimo Lopez has the skill. He has the natural skill set, you know, to be a player at the 140 division. He has the skill set to be a player at the 140 division, at the 135. This is why we glamorize the new Fab Four. You know, we included, of course, it's Devin Haney, Javante, Teofimo, and Ryan. We clamored over those four because, especially with Tank, Devin, and Teofimo, we know that the skill set is there. They have some innate boxing abilities. But moving up in weight is always trouble for every fighter or vast majority of fighters, because now sometimes that weight doesn't come up with you. The power you once had doesn't come up with you, and you have to start relying on other things like speed and conditioning mainly. So on that note, we'll see what's next for Teofimo Lopez. You got guys that were in attendance like Barbosa, who is, he seemed like he's just salivating over that fight with Teofimo Lopez. And Barbosa's a very talented fighter that's on the ESPN roster as well. He's a top-ranked fighter on the ESPN roster. So this guy, a fight with him and Teofimo is easy to make. And Teofimo Lopez, if he doesn't come in with the conditioning and he tries to do the one-shot deal, it might be a long night. So Teofimo, he's got guys like Barbosa, Cepeda. He's calling out the Josh Taylors, the Regis Prograis. There's some big dogs up there at 140, so he's going to have to work on that conditioning, and we'll see what's next. Most likely a Barbosa fight, and that will be a big fight. That will be a really good, entertaining fight for us fight fans. So on that note, this is Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.